the other way, using the 4-year cycle, I'm more aligned with the second way. We're going to get into that right now. Okay. The second way is that, again, if we take the cycle top of each cycle, so the cycle top we have is 2013 December, and then another cycle top is December 2017. So if we use calculate that how many days there are a total of 1,477 days. So that's for one cycle. And on the second one, we are taking the cycle top and the next cycle top as well. We get 1,414 days. And then if we do apply that the third time, which is right now, that will, maybe we'll stretch that out a little bit. Maybe we'll take the top when we saw that in 2013. Okay, let's say if we use this number, 1,477 days. If we apply that, to here, we essentially getting the end of November, something around that. I do think the 4-year cycle slowly gonna get irrelevant, but until there's number proven on my chart, I still think that data doesn't lie. I would love to be wrong, but looking at here, I do want to be more cautious. Maybe Q4, we're going to see a cycle.
Hello, this is the Bitcoin Libertarian, and here we are again with another weekly episode, receiving my friend Gem Crypto. How are you doing, Gemmy?
I'm doing great. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival. As we were talking a little bit, we didn't have a low mooncake because it's full of calories. So I had a nice little break, but doing pretty good.
Today here in Hong Kong is holiday because it's the Mid-Autumn Festival. So can you please explain a little bit for the audience what does the Mid-Autumn Festival mean and the mooncake tradition, or you don't remember?
Sorry.
I heard that.
I studied the history when I was a little kid. I think in I don't know, kindergarten or something, at a really young age, but I totally forgot the tradition or the history or the story behind such thing. But I remember there's a rabbit, and then there's a rabbit living on the moon, and we have to celebrate through mooncakes, and then we have the Latin light that we carry around. Yeah, so we light that candle and then we carry around. That's all I know.
Yes, I saw yesterday when I was coming back from the office, all the kids were with the lantern walking around my building. And I heard something that was like a love story, that a guy was in love with a girl, and the girl, I don't know, was had some magic powers, and then sent to live in the moon, turn into a rabbit, something like that. And since then they cook this, there is a pastry very high in calories that is called the mooncake, and that's why the lantern. And I also listened that this is a good day to propose or something like that in the tradition. I don't know. Some things that I listen around since I've been living in Hong Kong.
You probably know more than I do. I know it's a day off, and I know it's a good chance to hang out with my friends. That's all I know.
Yes, it's a day off. I think it's the last holiday we have in Hong Kong before Christmas. Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I usually know. I know a little bit about the Mid-Autumn Festival. Also, there is another holiday that you go and clean the grapes. I think it's in April. Then you have the Dragon Boat Festival, where there is some legend that someone who died drowned, and you put the money, the food, and all the things. But yes, today is holiday here in Hong Kong, but Bitcoin never stop. Bitcoin never sleep. And today, probably if you are in the United States, like yesterday, but for me today, while I was sleeping and Gemmy was sleeping too, we had a new all-time high, 126 and 199 US dollars per Bitcoin. It surpassed the one we had on Sunday of 125 something. So I think that we are entering in October, and in the Q4 with a huge strength. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the 4-year cycle a little bit just before I hop on when I was doing the live stream with Roxham. So, people were speculating that the cycle talk going to happen on exactly 6th of October, which is kind of a coincidence if you think about it. Because, like, we have the all time high, like, as you said, 126,000 exactly on 6th of October. So, people are saying maybe we have already seen the cycle talk, but I was sharing a little bit of like my own perspectives. So using news analysis, using TA, and also using on-chain analysis, like everything is telling us that we haven't seen a cycle top yet. Like that kind of gave me a little bit of confidence. So um, maybe I will share the chart a little bit in a bit, but like for news analysis, like we know what's coming because we know that there are only room for the Fed to cut rates. So the global liquidity is unlocking, not only in the US, but Canada, UK, Europe, basically around the world. And China has been printing money like months or years, but even before the West has actually started doing anything. So we know that global liquidity is unlocking. We know that we have a weak labor, and we know that there's a friendly SEC. So it's very difficult to not be bullish, just like looking at all these reasons. We're just doing news analysis, but there is more to come, like on-chain and TA. Everything is telling us that we haven't seen a cycle top yet. Right now, we are sitting at 124,000 now that I'm looking at the chart, like still doing pretty well. Maybe dollar terms, like, okay, we dipped like 2,000 or 3,000, but if you actually go to the percentage wise, it's like 2% of something. So that's really nothing. And like, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, especially on the past, basically we have been on a major rally since 1st of October, and that we only starting to get a little bit of correction literally today. So 7th of October. So it's okay after 6 days, like 6 consecutive days of going up, and right now we have a correction. So yeah, that's my perspective.
Yes, what I saw for me was like a surprise because 10 days ago, when October started, we were below 110 and then started suddenly going up, up. And on Sunday, I was at home watching the UFC fights and suddenly watch the phone and say, oh, all time high, incredible. And one of the things that made me confident that this is not the top is if we compare with the last all-time high, the previous all-time high that was in August, that was 124 something. If you see the graphic, it goes touch the all-time high and then goes down and comes back below 120. Now touched the all-time high and is around there. Like was 125 the other day, then drop a little bit, then went up and is still there. Now today went up a little bit, touch another all-time high, and is still there. Now we are in around 124 something, 125. What it means that if we are still hovering around that, it is gonna go up. And most of the analysts, the people who do technical analysis, the people who do other kind of analysis, more fundamental analysis, they all agree that we are gonna go higher and that we can reach easily this year 150K.
Yeah, I mean, could I share my
For
my
sure, Shemi.
screen? Wait, give me a sec. All right, there you go. So I was sharing this chart that I'm seeing just in this afternoon, so just a few hours before I hop onto this live stream with Fernando. What we are seeing from this chart is, okay, why people have this 4-year cycle and why people are calling 6th of October being the cycle top is that, okay, for the 4-year cycle, there are different ways to measure the top, right? So we're going to focus on the first way first, and then we're going to move on to second way. All right, so the first way, what we are doing here is we essentially taking the cycle bottom to the cycle top. So here, that was back in January 2015, we have a bottom. And then in December, so December 2017, we have a cycle top. So what we're seeing here from the cycle bottom to the cycle top, that is around 1,064 days. That's for one cycle. And then the second cycle we're seeing here is that back in December 2018, we saw a cycle bottom. And then in 2021, November, we saw a cycle top. So what this is very interesting is a coincidence, maybe. Like we are seeing 1,064 days. That's for the another cycle. And then if we apply the same method, like the same calculation, if we are taking the bottom, which is in November 2022, if we just apply the 1,064 days, we will essentially get like the 6th of October. So that's why everyone on Twitter is calling that, or on YouTube as well, is calling them, we probably going to see a cycle top here. Some of my friends, like my inner circle, they are actually selling a little bit of BTC because of this, and they're being very cautious. So this is one method why people are saying that, okay, we probably topped. Okay, the other way, using the 4-year cycle, I'm more aligned with the second way. We're going to get into that right now. Okay, the second way is that, again, if we take the top, cycle top of each cycle, so the cycle top we have is 2013 December, and then another cycle top is December 2017. So if we use calculate that how many days they are, there is, so there are a total of 1,477 days. So that's for one cycle. And on the second one, we are taking the cycle top and the next cycle top as well. We get 1,414 days. And then if we do apply that the third time, which is right now, that will, maybe we'll stretch that out a little bit. Maybe we'll take the top when we saw that in 2013. Okay, let's say if we use this number, 1,477 days, if we apply that, if we apply that to here, we essentially getting like the end of November, something around that. Like I personally, I don't really believe the first method. Like I don't think the 6th of October, which was just yesterday, is the cycle top. Like I'm gonna use TA to back what I say as well. I don't believe that this is cycle top. However, Fernando, I have my thesis that I tend to believe that we might be using the second method. Like I do believe the 4-year cycle is still intact, but I agree with you. Like institutions are in, BlackRock are in, nations are in, trying to stack up BTC. I do think the 4-year cycle slowly gonna get irrelevant, but until there's like number proven on my chart, I still think that like data doesn't lie. I would love to be wrong, but like looking at here, I do want to be more cautious. Like maybe Q4, we're going to see a cycle top. Maybe, institutions are in, there are a lot more mature money getting in. Maybe we will stretch this out. So what we're seeing on the graph right now is end of November. Maybe we're going to stretch that out to December or something like that. I don't know. But I do believe that cycle top going to happen in Q4 this year.
Okay, let me show. Let me show. Don't leave the graphic. So let me analyze a couple of things, because I first of all, when you said that your friends are selling Bitcoin, as like for me, it's like I have like never sell your Bitcoin, guys. Never ever sell your Bitcoin. Anyways, no problem. So what I see in the cycles, as you know, I think that the 4-year cycle is over. Check each cycle. That is amazing. How the first one was like in you, like went down and then went up. In the second one, we saw many corrections because we see at the beginning the trend down, then it goes up, then correction, then goes up, then another small correction, and then goes up to a new all-time high. And in the new cycle, we can see that there is a huge drop from 69K to around 15K in November 2022. But since then, the recovery is super smooth. It's almost a 45 degree line. So Bitcoin is going up slowly, not in a crazy way, but it's going up with few small corrections, totally different to the previous two cycles. And in my opinion, what that triggers is the adoption of the big money from Wall Street. We now have the ETFs. We now have the treasury companies. We now have, well, not countries, but countries that are willing to buy Bitcoin. We are less people selling Bitcoin because we have this, you can borrow money against your Bitcoin. So I think that all these things following that, this cycle, we had the first ever all-time high before the halving, that was in March 2024. All these things, and also seeing the graphic, and when I check my graphic of the power law, for me is, again, I think that Bitcoin enters in a new stage when it's gonna go up smoothly. Again, as I said, Bitcoin is gonna become voting, but with less risk. So let's see what happens. Whatever, if you want, we can bet. I love betting.
Yeah, I mean, I love to be wrong, but like, until it's actually reflecting on my charts, I like to be a little bit cautious, especially when it
Yes.
comes to altcoins. Because, I mean, I have
Well,
seen cycles.
yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you
of
were saying?
course, I'm not talking about all coins. I'm just talking about Bitcoin. With all coins can happen anything, because I'm seeing that a lot of people is talking about all season, all season, all season. I cannot talk about that because it's not my field. But yeah,
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I think Q4 we're gonna see a cycle top, though I don't know exactly which month. Maybe in November or December. If we are very lucky, maybe we could go to December. But yeah, um, however, I do not think that we have already seen the top on basically yesterday. The reason why I'll say this, okay, right now I'll use TA to back what I say in term like instead of just like news, because it sounds a little bit fake, right? So what I pull up here is the 50-week moving average. So there are a few lines here, a little bit confusing, but bear with me. So the 50-week moving average is just the blue line here. Just focus on the blue line and try to ignore the red line. What I like to use as an indicator whether, okay, the cycle top or the bull market has come to an end is that we are essentially on the weekly candle right here. And one thing that has been working so well in the past is that, okay, if we have, okay, for example, if we zoom closer, right now, okay, back in April, literally just this year, we have seen weekly candles kind of like touch the 50-week moving average. Like, touching is fine. Okay, March we didn't technically touch the 50-week, but we happened again. That was like back in August 2024 and September 2024. But like, touching the 50-week is fine. However, if we go all the way back to the time that we actually, okay, that is back in November 2021. And remember, that is like the cycle top, right? So what happened here is sorry about that. So what happened that is that we have seen weekly candles consecutively uh, dumping, like dumping towards to the 50-week moving average. And then here we touched the 50-week once and then twice, and then again 3 times and 4 times. So that's very concerning. But okay, we still cannot confirm that we are in a bear market until the weekly candle actually closed below that. So that happened once and then twice because we actually closed below that. And then we dipped completely below the 50-week moving average. So usually when this happens, that means that's the end of a bull run. So I gonna use this as a indicator for myself because like one question I asked my friend, because I've been celebrating my birthday like nonstop, right? And then a lot of my friends, they were asking about, like, basically asking for advice if they want to get into Bitcoin. Some of them, they bought Bitcoin that was like 2 years ago, so of course they're in profit. So they asked me a question like, since Bitcoin is at all-time high right now, is it okay to sell Bitcoin? Like, if I advise them to sell Bitcoin? So I asked them a question because, like, okay, that day, it was on Friday and it was approaching the 6th of October because people are saying that is the cycle top. I don't believe, but we only know this in hindsight, right? So I asked my friend this question. Okay, if Bitcoin, let's say on 6th of October, then we're going to see a dump, maybe Bitcoin drop like 50%, and you will have to hold your Bitcoin for another 2 years. Would you be okay with that? So I asked them a question. Some of them said okay, some of them said no. So I was like, okay, you essentially answer your own question. Like, if you're okay, you sell. If you're not okay, then yeah, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Yes, and what do you think that which price can reach as the cycle top, and how deep can it go when it reach the top of the cycle?
Cycle top. Okay, let me close the let me close the moving average first. Well, for the uptrend, I mean, if it continues, we'll actually pull up the weekly. Might be easier to see. So I'm just like drawing some random trend lines here, okay? Because we are seeing Bitcoin consistently hitting this as basically a resistance. So if we apply this and okay, if we are using this as the ratio, that I won't be surprised to see like at least 130,000 within October. Because okay, if we like everything is aligned, then I would say 130 at least would be approachable in October, like within this month, because again of the October narrative. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, yes. I think that again, I think that the 4-year cycle are over, but again, we need the validation. It happened in the past, and we need the validation now. I always advise, but this is not advice. I always say this is not financial advice. Never sell your Bitcoin, but if you are in profit and you don't see Bitcoin the way that I see Bitcoin, you can sell and enjoy your profits in fiat. But what I think is that uh, one of the things that I was listening in this week is that we are probably approaching a supply crunch. What is a supply crunch? When there are no more Bitcoins to be sold on the exchanges and on OTC. So what the data that I heard in the last days is on the exchanges there are around 2.8 million Bitcoin. So this is the Bitcoin that can be sold immediately. See? So this Bitcoin can be sold immediately, plus around 200,000 that are in OTCs. That this is not as the same. These are estimations. So Bitcoin on exchanges are on all-time lows. So there are not so much Bitcoin on the exchanges, and the trend keeps going down. Second, in the OTC that are available, that are on chain, but they are available for big purchase from institutions or big clients, there are around 200,000 that drop around from 400,000 a few months ago. And the calculations that happens is that if the companies, the ETF and the retail keep buying at that pace, we will be running out of Bitcoins to be sold in a couple of months. So if this happens, if there is a huge buying desire and there are no Bitcoins to sell, if you see supply and demand, the price is going to go vertical. So that's why one of the things that they are saying. I think that if this happens, we can see Bitcoin reaching crazy numbers around 250, 300K. But for sure, if this happens, after that, it will come a big correction for that. But yeah, this is data that I see. And on the other side, we have the potential rate cuts that are going to happen at the end of the month, and I think in December. So I think that the probabilities, most of the people on the market, they discount that they're going to be 25 basic points cut this month, and for sure 25 basic points in December. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think 90 something percent. Okay, 92% of people are expecting a 25 basis point cut in October. So probably we're gonna get that. Let's see in December how much, because December is still some time away. And then it's still a little bit indecisive. Hopefully we'll get like a total of 50 basis point for the next these 2 months to come.
Yes, and this can trigger again another pump for Bitcoin. But anyways, let's see what happened. All of these analytics, we are trying to predict the future based on macro data or uh, technical analysis of what happened in the past. Anything can happen. I think I'm super bullish, to be honest, what is going to happen with Bitcoin and the upcoming years. And most of the people also is not taking in advantage, in consideration, sorry, what is happening with AI. So I think that there is I'm super bullish. So, and again, I'm super bullish, but I don't think that we are going to see these crazy candles of like 10x of what people say, oh, God candle coming, Omega candle coming. I don't think that we are going to see this unless we have a supply crunch. But after that, it's going to come for sure a big correction. But I see Bitcoin going up again, super boring, but going up easy and steady. So let's see what happens, Gemmy. So I think that we cover everything for today. I don't think if you have any other thing.
Oh no, I mean we're just watching the chart for Bitcoin to climb all time high again. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So, any new birthday celebration upcoming?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So, guys, on October 18th is gonna be Jemmy's birthday. So, I hope you go to her ex and give her a good happy birthday. So, Jemmy, thank you very much again for being with us. And what is your social media so our audience can go on October 18th and say happy birthday to you?
Yes, so my Twitter handle is gemcrypto_IO. And then I have my own YouTube channel is gemcrypto, so as my Instagram. And
Excellent.
yes, that's pretty much
Do you have
everything.
any Rumble? Are you still using
Oh
Rumble?
yeah, Rumble. Yes. Yes, Rumble is the same. I think the handle is gemcrypto as well.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, thank you very much for being with us and see you next week.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And thank you very much to everyone who is on the other side. If you like the episode, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our all social media and to Shemi social media. And if you have any questions, just drop below and we will be happy to answer that next week. See you. Sorry. Share this episode with the people you love. Share this episode with the people you hate, because we must reach 8 billion people and onboard them to Bitcoin. See you in the next episode of our podcast. Stay humble, stack sats, and remember, we are all Satoshi. And that's all for today. If you like the episode, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media. Our X account is the Bitcoin _. Our YouTube channel is the Libertarian BTC. Our YouTube channel in Spanish is Libertarian BTC ESP. Our Patreon, the Bitcoin Libertarian. Our Instagram, the Bitcoin Libertarian. That's all. You can go there and follow us in all our social media.